Once again, Chaz's book is called Transition, the Story of How I Became a Man. Hits bookstores today. Chaz, good to have you back.
Thank you.
On the program. I know your documentary airs tonight.
Yes.
On the OWN network, and you're very...
It's a big day for me.
It is a big day.
It's a really big day for me. I woke up at 6 in the morning this morning, was like, okay, this is a really big day for me. So.
And you have always said that you don't handle change very well when you were younger and having to move, and it's just not something you're really comfortable with.
I'm a creature of habit, put it that way.
Mm-hmm. You kind of knew that when we went to the videotape, we're going to have the picture of you as a child on your folks' show.
Right.
And you write about how you don't really have any memory.
I really don't. I really don't have memory of that, especially that young, what you're seeing now. As I started to get a little bit older on the show, I have, scattered memories, but mostly backstage stuff, and it's been very strange my whole life because there's this iconic image, and it's ingrained in everybody's memory of a certain generation, and I'm an integral part of it, but it's not part of my memory. It's bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Yeah.
And you write really very well about that,
Thank you.
Chaz. And you said that you never thought you'd be, as you wrote, a little girl who turned into a middle-aged man.
No,
and
of course not.
You were blindsided by the full realization of who you are.
Sure, yeah. It's not something that, it's not the first thing you go to when you're feeling uncomfortable and ill at ease in yourself. You just don't go there first. So it took a long time for me to kind of process of elimination really figure this out.
And how it has been for your family, because we think of your mom a certain way, fans of hers, but you are her child.
Sure, and she's a mother, that's our relationship first and foremost. So with me, she reacts like a mother, not a, pop superstar or kind of progressive icon.
Right, because she was really cool, as you wrote in the beginning, and then it's been more of a process for her.
It's a process, absolutely. It really is a process. And look, it took me 40 years to start my transition and become comfortable with it. And so it's a process that now she's going through with becoming comfortable with me this way. It's a big change.
Yeah, I know. What was it? You're hearing your voice on the
Yeah, when
machine?
she heard my voice and realized it had changed, she wasn't going to hear it, the old voice again. It really hit her.
There are just so many things when I'm reading your book, and things that I wouldn't even think of. That you loved your dad, you had a great relationship with your dad, and that you thought at one point about going into politics, but there was a certain word that you would be called.
Yes, Congresswoman really caught me. I was, when my dad was in Congress, I went there to take place in the reintroduction of the Employment Non-Discrimination Act to Congress. And after my press conference, I met up with him. He took me onto the floor, and I'm looking at everybody, and I thought, this is great. I would love to get into politics. I'd love to do what he's doing. And then it hit me, but everybody's going to call me Congresswoman, and I don't think I can live with woman in my title.
Wow. And so that was just part of you realizing. And you, as we see, and we'll see tonight in the documentary, the shots that you have to take, this testosterone, that it has changed you, and it has changed how you look at women, how you view women?
No, it hasn't changed how I view women, but it has, I've become much more male. So it's changed my, how do I say? I don't want to be offensive in any way.
Go ahead.
When I'm in a group of women, because so many of my friends are women,
right?
I'll get in a group of women and they'll start talking as women can do, and I just can't do that anymore. I just can't talk endlessly about whatever.
Yeah, so when we're going after it, kind of gossiping, whatever, that it really grates on your nerves.
It does. I usually will have to get up and clean or do something physical.
And you never were like
No,
that.
I didn't. I mean, I probably wasn't a big talker before, but I could sit and listen endlessly, but not anymore.
And you say men are very comfortable, more comfortable with you now.
Everybody's more comfortable with me now. Look at before I was looked at as a woman, but a woman who didn't act like a woman or dress like a woman, and that makes people very uncomfortable in our society. And now I'm a man, and I act appropriately masculine. And for me, that's great, but I think it's also really sad for people who don't, fit in one way or the other totally and don't want to, that they're not treated as well in our society.
That is why your book is going to be so helpful, and you said it is dedicated to those that are going through a transformation. And the bottom line is you're happy.
I'm very happy.
That's all that really matters at the end of the day. All right, we'll be watching the documentary.
Thank you so much.
Again, the book is called Transition.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chas.